You said in the comment section that I only take into account things on the left and that I can't take into account the other side. Why do you say that?
I say that because even I've been watching you, I've been watching Dean, when y'all seem to not even be able to hear what people are saying. Y'all seem to only be able to like kind of just only accept anything that you think fits your political view. You know what I'm saying?
Of course, I would only accept things that fit my view. Like, I'm
No,
confused.
only things that
Why would I
fit your
think
like your
about this?
political party
Why would
view.
I accept things that are not in my view? Wouldn't that be contradictory? Now,
Oh yeah, that's not what I meant.
what
I'm
you mean
sorry.
to say is that I'm
Yeah, with
partisan
the
and I'm
Democratic.
biased,
Yeah,
right? Is
yeah,
that what you mean to
bias.
say?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
So what tells you that I'm partisan and I'm biased in that, like, maybe, for example, I deny facts because I'm so partisan and biased? Could you give me an example of that? Or, like, maybe something
I
I've ever
don't.
lied about?
I don't think you deny facts. I think you deflect. I think when somebody brings up a good point, you just ask them a question that doesn't even. You don't even try and answer their question.
Okay, well,
I think
give me an example, because there are
what you
plenty
just
of.
did with the guy, maybe not the last guy. I haven't been really watching, but the guy before the last one, and he said, "Would you support someone?" He brought up a good point. I don't remember exactly what it was, but he said, "Would you support someone that had been accused of SA?" Am I allowed to say that like those?
That's the
Those?
question I asked them.
Yeah, that's the question you asked him. But he had brought up a good point before that about the Epstein files and such. But the thing is,
What about the Epstein
that
files?
is largely, in my opinion, is through the Democratic Party being able to push that narrative, and not even narrative, bring it all the way to court, which he was not convicted of this
He was
essay. He
held
was
civilly
just,
liable, unanimously amongst a jury of 9 people.
if this was fully true and there's full evidence, he'd be convicted and he would most likely be in prison.
He was held civilly liable. The reason why it wasn't a criminal case is because of statute of limitations, which means regardless of the level of evidence, they couldn't try them in a criminal court.
Can you repeat that? You cut out on my part.
Yeah, so it was past the statute of limitations, meaning regardless of the level of evidence that they specifically had, right, they could not try them in a criminal court, only in a civil court.
Why was it out of the limitations?
Because it was only 5 years. So any situation that happened
Oh, so
after,
it's 5 years prior?
like, 5 years prior, yeah,
Oh.
5 years or more prior, then you couldn't try in a criminal court regardless of the
Oh,
level of
yeah, okay.
evidence.
I thought you said this was.
Yeah, and for many
So,
victims, it takes way more than 5 years to come out. So
yeah. But they had never pressed charges or anything up until the 5 years after, is what you're saying, correct?
yeah, it
He
was yeah,
supposedly did it.
yeah. So if you haven't pressed charges within the first 5 years, you
Yeah,
can't
okay,
ever
yeah.
press charges.
So this was before he ran for 2016, correct? Before
But
he,
when he committed it, or when he was held liable?
oh, when he committed it, when he was,
When he committed it, yes, it was before 2016.
oh, well, I'll just admit I'm wrong there, but the main reason I support Trump is more of a moral thing. I think he has much of a better moral compass than a lot of the Democratic Party, even though that may seem a little bit crazy with all the accusations and things like that.
Okay, so he has a better moral compass. He said yeah to Howard Stern, calling his daughter a piece of. His daughter's always been voluptuous, which means curvy and attractive. He said he had common with his daughter when she said real estate and golf. He said he would be dating his own daughter if it wasn't his daughter. He said he would date in
Oh,
10
good night,
years.
sir.
He bragged about walking
Love
into the changing rooms of women without their consent while they were changing. And an 18-year-old came out, said there were 4 girls as young as these changing rooms that Donald Trump would barge in. He was held civilly liable. He pardoned violent rioters who beat police officers and called them patriots.
So the Patriots one was January 6th, correct? The one with the January 6th, Eddie, or what was his like? I know what you're talking about, but with the one, I think a lot of these definitely with the statements that he had said are out of context, definitely about his daughter. I think,
They aren't
but
out of context. I can play you the clips.
all
And
right, let's see.
what context would they be justified?
The ones about his daughter. I mean, it's obviously I think a little bit disrespectful the way he said it and the way he worded it, but with context, it can definitely be understandable.
I mean, some of these foreign girls, Mr. Trump, in my country, we say hello with. And
Well, you could also say, as the owner of the pageant, it's your obligation to do that.
So you have done that. Now, tell me
Well, I'll tell you the funniest is that I'll go backstage before a show.
Yes.
And everyone's getting dressed and ready and everything else. And, no men are anywhere. And I'm allowed to go in because I'm the owner of the pageant, and therefore I'm inspecting it. I'm inspecting. I want to make sure that
You're like a
everything is
doctor.
good.
You're there.
Yeah, the dress. Is everyone okay? They're standing there with no clothes. Is everybody okay? And you see these incredible-looking women.
Is this on Howard Stern?
And so I sort of get away with it.
Yeah. That
Oh,
was one
okay.
video. I have more.
That if Ivanka weren't my daughter, perhaps I'd be dating her.
Stop it! Oh, it's so weird. Stop it. You know what? You are sick.
Far from protecting his daughter from being talked about as a object, he has encouraged it multiple times on Howard Stern's radio show in 2004 and then again in 2006.
By the way, your daughter.
She's beautiful.
Can I say this? A piece of ass. She looks more voluptuous than ever.
She's actually always been very voluptuous.
It's
She's
unbelievable.
tall. She's almost 6 feet
Okay,
tall.
dude. I'm sorry. There's no. Okay, the one on Howard Stern I have heard. Not that one, but the one before the first clip you had showed me. And that one I almost thought was in some way satire. The other one I haven't really seen much. The one where he's talking about, well, he's the owner, but that seems almost. It's Howie Stern. That's very.
No,
funny.
he was being serious. He was being serious. There were 18.
Is there any evidence that this is ever?
18-year-olds came out, said there were 4 girls as young as in these changing rooms where Donald Trump would barge in. There were victims that came out and talked about it.
Was there any evidence, not just accusations?
That's obviously evidence. What?
Accusations aren't evidence.
Wait, first-person accounts, multiple people indicating that this happened is not evidence? Witnesses indicating this happened is not evidence?
No, not when you're a political figure. I disagree. I think if there's been multiple accusations on every president.
What do you need? What do you need in terms of evidence then?
I mean, not just someone saying that they saw it.
You mean eyewitness testimony?
I just need some sort of proof and maybe a more
eyewitness
reliable
testimony. So
no.
eyewitness testimony is enough. Are you Christian?
Yes, sir, I am.
Okay. What evidence do you have that Jesus rose from the dead?
It's faith.
Oh, you just believe without evidence? So you can believe that without evidence, but you can't believe victims?
Yes. I mean, because I would rather believe the Bible than a random 18-year-old woman than maybe possibly a Democrat. They could also be throwing accusations.
Well, I just want to let you know the New Testament was passed down word of mouth for like over a generation prior to even being written down. So you would trust literally the Bible passed down generation word of mouth.
That's only true with
right?
the King James Bible. That's not true with
No,
everything.
it's not just the King James.
No,
It's specifically...
that's not true.
Wait, name one specific. Wait, you think any of the Bible, specifically the notions of the Bible, were written literally at the time in which Jesus was alive?
No, but I don't think it was passed down through generations.
It was passed down through generations. Yes, it was.
Yes, with the King James
name
version.
Name a single manuscript that was specifically not passed down word of mouth. That was New Testament.
I think yes, you are right, but to an extent, I think you're making it seem like this was passed down through hundreds of thousands of years. No, this is maybe
hundreds of thousands. No, I said generations.
No, hundreds. I meant hundreds of years, not hundreds of thousands. That's my bad. But
it was around 45 to 60 years. I'm pretty sure.
Is this only with the King James version? Is there a way you could check that?
No, this is across the board.
But yes, to be honest, yes, I would rather than. Okay, do you know who the? You said there was 3 eyewitnesses, correct? With the
There were multiple, yes.
Okay, can you? I'm guessing that these 3 now you said 18 at the time.
So they've came out and talked about this. You can see what they
Yes,
said
when did they
about
come
it.
out and talk about it? Do you know?
I'd have to go check the year they came out. I'm not quite sure. Off the top of my head.
All right, could you check? Because I can almost guarantee it. This is after the year 2016.
So?
That means it would be most likely politically motivated.
Here's the issue. Anything that Donald Trump specifically is accused, right, and convicted of, you're not going to accept because it came out after specifically 2016. This is cult-like mentality. You will literally not accept anything against Donald Trump, regardless, even if he admits it himself. He literally admitted to it, and you're like, oh, he's just probably joking.
Yes, he's on
Could you-
Howie Stern.
Could you tell me
there's
one thing that he could do that would get you to stop supporting him?
Donald Trump.
Yeah.
If he were to, there's a lot of things he could do. Obviously, probably. Well, I have a very strong opinions on the immigration. I honestly, there is some, I think, flaws with the way he's doing it. It's very aggressive, and I think it should be toned down a little bit. But I also have very strong opinions on abortion, and I think he's doing that very well.
Could you tell me something that he could do that would get you to stop supporting him?
If he realistically, if the main thing is the Epstein files, if he was released and there was enough evidence to prove that he was, essaying.
What would you
children
accept
on-
as evidence? Because he said that was a Democratic hoax. Wouldn't you just think that it was a hoax under your view?
Well, if he releases the files, then it's.
Well, he
It
said
wouldn't
that
be a
they're
Democratic
he said that they're a
hoax.
hoax. So do you agree that they're a hoax?
Oh, well, I haven't seen the files, and he has.
Do you want them to be released?
Oh, yes, I do.
Well, he said that you shouldn't support him, and you never actually supported him in the first place. Because
Wait,
they're
what'd
a
you say
hoax
on
created
Twitter?
by the. Yeah, he said
Oh,
he
you're
doesn't
talking
want your
about-
support. Yeah, he put on True Social he doesn't want your support if you want them to be released, because they're a hoax created by the Democrats.
I haven't heard about this, to be honest. But I realistically think if he releases them during his term, and there's proof and evidence that he was, obviously essaying the people.
What is proof and evidence to you?
Well, I think the files itself would be proof and evidence.
Wait, the files that
If-
just are but wouldn't you just say that they're claims?
Yes, they would be claims, but it's different than a bunch of girls coming out 30 years
Really,
after
20,
something
26
supposedly happened.
By the way, 26 different women. You think all of the 26 women are lying?
I think there could be some truth to it, but I think everything was probably dramatic.
So if there's some truth to it, so then why would you still support him? And by the way, 26 different women.
I think realistically that he was obviously doing stuff that he shouldn't have been, but I don't think any of this was anything like they claimed was forced. I don't think he would
Okay,
have.
so they're all
done that.
lying.
To an
So
extent,
you think
yeah, I
every
think so.
single one of the 26 women are lying?
If all 26 say that he did do that, then yes, I would say so.
Wow. Do you realize how? Okay, if 100 women came out about Donald Trump, would you still say that?
I mean, are they just straight claims, and any evidence that he was with these girls?
Well, if there were pictures of them together, if there was a dress that
There was
they
pictures
claimed,
with them together. Yeah, the people that multiple of the people in the 26. I know that, but a lot of those, I'm pretty sure one of them was proved to be doctored, and I haven't heard
Who?
anything else
Which
from
one?
the other two.
which one
I'm
was
not sure. I
proved to
don't
be
know the
doctored?
names.
None of them.
It was, but it's not one
Donald
of the ones.
Trump
that
was the
used-
one that lied. Donald Trump said that E. Jean Carroll and him never met. There were pictures of them together. He said that he
Yeah,
wouldn't
that
have
was not the one I'm talking
He said that he
about.
wouldn't have
was-
her because she's quote unquote not his type, but then in a deposition mistook her with his ex-wife, indicating that they're both his type or both not his type. So he would have her either way.
Wait, so you said she looked like his ex-wife, correct? So you said.
Yeah, so he said that he wouldn't have E.
Yeah,
Jean
yeah,
Carroll
I heard you.
because she's
And
quote
then-
unquote not his type, but then in a deposition mistook her with his ex-wife, Marla Maples.
Oh, well, realistically, I think this is my full take on it, is that there is so many people in America, so many people that do not like Trump, and I mean, you can all have everybody's entitled to their opinion, and I think that both parties can take it too far, just like we did on January 6th. I think that was wrong, but I think at the same way, the way y'all are also attacking him just in different ways through media and do a lot of things. And I think this could also be one of them.
What? You're just saying
No,
that we're
I'm
just
saying-
attacking him. So you're not responding with any reason or any evidence or any intellectual critique. You're just saying Dems came after us. Do you realize that's just a trust me, bro, right?
Well, realistically, a trust me, bro, would be saying, hey, there's a picture with this girl. I took a picture with this girl. she comes out and says that
No, here's the
he
issue.
actually knew.
Trump said that they never met. Lie. Proven wrong. Trump said he would because she's quote unquote not type, but in a deposition mistook her with his ex-wife. Indicate lie. We can keep going through. Like all of these things were lies. Donald Trump lied over and over and over again, and for some reason continually gets a pass. But if E. Jean Carroll were to have lied one time, that's what people would run with. But she didn't, and yet people are still blaming her and still saying that.
I mean,
it's
I
her
think she
fault.
lied.
Yeah, but you have no reason to believe that. What did she lie about?
Oh, well, obviously not the picture. I just don't think that he was essaying her at all.
Okay, so then what did she lie about in particularly?
Him essaying her.
Wait, if she was lying, then why did she specifically say that there was a DNA on a dress and it was Trump's DNA, and then submit it to the court so that Trump could also submit his DNA? Right? If it was the case that they never met, they weren't around each other, how would she have his
Did it
DNA?
happen to be the same dress she was wearing in that picture?
In what picture? No, I'm not talking about
The
picture.
one they took together.
No. It's a dress that she specifically said was indicative of the fact that Trump was at the scene of the crime because it had DNA on it, unidentified male DNA. And Trump specifically didn't give up his DNA to the court after multiple years allotted specifically to give up his DNA, which under his view would have proven that he wasn't at the scene of the crime. So he had all reason to give up his DNA but chose not to, which actually indicates a greater likelihood that he was guilty.
So she was wearing this as she. Okay, so I'll make sure I'm not misunderstanding this. What you're saying is that she was wearing this when when the crime supposedly happened, correct?
Yes.
Hold on, wait? Could you look this up for me?
What?
I forgot how to word this. I'm not even gonna try. I don't know how to word what I'm trying to say really with that, but I don't really know why I didn't do that. But even if he did, realistically, they could have had interactions. It just could not have been forced.
Then why didn't he admit that they had done so? Why did he lie? If he has nothing to hide, why did he lie?
I mean, realistically, the lying obviously isn't good. I mean, he shouldn't have lied, but that doesn't automatically mean that he. Let's say he did.
So then what reason did he have to lie?
So maybe that the case wouldn't go on as far as it did, and there just happened to be a picture they were
It
together.
did though, and it was continually going on that long. So that's not a good
But
response.
no. Let's just say this, okay? They did meet, which they obviously did. There's a picture of them together. They did have interactions, not forced.
So then why did he say
DNA.
that they did?
Why? Because if he said they did, there'd be more likelihood of him for this case to go on longer. Sure, lying was probably not the right way to go about it, and I understand that, but I still think that, it still doesn't prove the fact that he did it.
It indicates at least a greater likelihood that he's guilty, correct?
Yeah, I agree with that.
And then not only that, but also him not showing his DNA indicates a greater likelihood of him being guilty. But also indicates a greater likelihood of him being guilty is the multiple different victims that came out and talked about the events that happened to them, which are all first-person eyewitnesses.